What's up? What's up? This is artom407 checking in. So today we're going to do a little bit of a backstory. You know, every great musician has a story. How they got started, when they got started, what got them started, you know. So today we're going to dive deep, starting from when I was born. So I was born in Moscow, Russia. At the age of 2, I was adopted and brought to the U.S. Lived in Michigan, Florida, Montana, Colorado, Chicago, New York, and Oklahoma, also Texas, where I'm currently at. So a little bit of the backstory is I grew up in school. I was the fun guy, you know, the chill dude, the guy you always wanted to be around. Always cracking jokes, always making shit funny. Let me hit my vape. But I was really a troublemaker as well, man. I always got in trouble a lot. But growing up, man, I always loved music. My papa, he was a musician. He was a drummer. So that really got me into music. I would say probably about 2012 is whenever I really started diving in deep. I got my first MPC. That's where it started. I just started to learn how to work it and how to make sounds come out of it. And for a long time, I made some fucked up beats. Then I found a secret, which was alcohol. And the more I drank, the better I got. So I used to drink a lot, and that drinking put me in sad emotions. That's why all my beats are sad or whatever. I grew up with this thing, man. I started out in a garage, bro. Like a garage. I had to board up the whole fucking thing, make a mic booth. It was fucking crazy. The people I had coming through there were insane. Cause I was offering, my offer was $20 an hour. People were buying that shit up like crazy. This was back in Oklahoma. Yeah, man. Then I moved into an apartment, and then I put my studio inside. I had a closet, bro, and I had my mic booth in the closet. I just remember that. That shit was crazy. I had this wall of speakers. I don't know what I was thinking. I had this big ass wall of speakers. Just one wall of speakers, bro. And then the mic booth was behind the wall of speakers, so you could hear the bass. So I had to figure that part out too, which was when I'm recording, how to turn off all these speakers. That was a trip, man. I remember this one time I was in the studio, and dude's like, I'm a real hardcore gangster rapper and shit. And I'm like, that's cool. He starts rapping and he pulls out like a fucking AK-47, literally, out of his trench coat. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because it's only a panel of wood between us. And I'm like, if that shit goes off, I'll die. We made it through the session and shit, and man, I was talking to him. I'm like, bro, is that an AK? He's like, yeah, man. You know, I got ops. So I'm like, damn, son, you must got some heavy ass ops. So yeah, I got really heavy ops. Then I met EBK. Man, he was a trip. He ended up going to prison for breaking and entering and stupid shit like that. And I heard from him once. He hit me up out of jail, out of prison. He's like, yo, can you throw $20 on my books? I'm like, nah, bro. I don't got it. But the next week, I ended up throwing some money on his books. So, but let's get into chapter 2. So, this is just one continuous loop. This is not edited. This isn't any of that. So back to the studio. I remember first starting out, I remember having this microphone. It was from like Wish or something. It was my first microphone, and it sucked so bad. So I had to go buy more mics. And then I started getting into the recording field of recording artists more and more and more. So I needed better equipment. And I used to pawn my equipment at first, honestly. If I didn't have a session, I'd pawn it. But then I feel like I'd never get it back out because I never did. So it'd sit there and they'd own it and I'd lose equipment. So I started just stacking equipment. I recently got back into vinyl again. You know, that's fun. But just growing up, I was homeless at a couple points in my life. So I started doing studios after. So I had like an encounter with God. It was really strange. I was homeless in Dallas and it was winter. It was fucking freezing like it is now in this garage. And I remember sleeping across from the homeless shelter. Like, I wouldn't even sleep at the homeless shelter. I would sleep in a bush across the homeless shelter. And one day, this dude named Mike came along. He's like, yo, you want a job? I'm like, yeah. So he helped me get a job and get me back on my feet, which was cool. And I eventually thanked him, moved out. Ended up moving to Oklahoma and starting up a studio there. That's the one with the big ass Wallace speakers. Bro, that was a trip, man. If I could redo that, God, it was so bad. Like, just, that's when I learned about studio vibe and shit. Like, the vibe of the studio. Because I started doing lights, you know, and stuff like that. But really, over these 12 years, I don't regret nothing. Like, every moment, it was awesome. You know, I still got my studio right now. Everything's still going good. Just wanted to give y'all a little bit of a backstory, you know. 7 minutes in, that ain't too bad. That's like a little interview right there. But yeah, it all started with the MPC, or MPD 32. And then we grew from there. And we are where we are now. So, peace out. Thanks for tuning in. See y'all later.